What's up, AP World? So I'm going to give you a different attendance question for today based on some of the struggles I was noticing as I graded your sample grading of Peter the Great. I'm not going to focus on everything. I'm going to focus on what I noticed as some of the most common problems. And then after this video, you're going to answer a couple questions, and this will serve as your attendance question for today. All right, so the things that I really want to focus on mainly in this. One, looking at an appropriate thesis statement. So I'm going to look at sample B, and this whole part here, in order to flaunt Russia and modernize his state like his idol Louis XIV in France, Peter copied the way Russian citizens were educated in order to force his people to learn skills that would in turn stimulate trade and international commerce. All the while, he forces citizens to get rid of Russian stereotypes and dress for more globally accepted versions. That is 3 topics. My 3 body paragraphs will be will be education, then trade, and then ending with dress and culture. It's just that this has a developed argument. It clearly answers the question, and it provides a line of reason, so I know it's not just trade. It's how trade will lead to international commerce, right? So it's going to lead me down the path of argument. All right, the other major problem that I've noticed, and I really want everyone to hear this, which is why I'm doing this video, sourcing. A lot of you don't seem to understand what sourcing is, which scares me a bit that we're this late in the year and you don't get this one. So sourcing does not mean how many documents you have used. Sourcing is source analysis. Are you analyzing the source? Meaning, are you looking at point of view? Are you looking at historical context or historical situation? Or are you looking at the purpose or audience behind the document? Right? So if we look at this one, sample A, some of you said, oh yeah, they mentioned the document and they mentioned this document. That is not good enough. That does not count as sourcing at all. This is just required for citation. That doesn't earn you a point. That's just like you know how to write. Okay, this is an attempt at sourcing here. This was written by a historian, so it has no bias. That's an attempt at point of view. As a historian point of view, there's no bias. Guys, that would not count as sourcing. This is much too vague, much too simple. This is like something my 3rd grade daughter would be doing. Okay, the point is valid. Historians shouldn't hold public preferences in their writing. So it should say, as a historian, their job is to give an accurate assessment and to look at the facts, or this represents what historically is accepted regarding Peter's reign and should show no preference. Something to that regard. It needs to say, here's my concern, here's why I'm concerned, and here's what that means for the information. So let me show you a better example. In sample B, this whole part here, right, this is sourcing kind of starting about here. So this support he generated lasted well after his death by this French painter, Paul Delaroche. He portrayed Peter looming over a naval cannon with his officer's dress and medals, which was a common form of propaganda, there's purpose, to represent the military genius of a leader. However, although the message may be dramatically symbolized in the painting, it still accurately reflects how people saw Peter's push for modernity. So even though this is propaganda, and we're saying it's propaganda, it still helps us understand the widely held viewpoint that Peter, whether you loved him or hated him, was a war-loving man. He was a guy who liked some cannons and liked some ships. That's sourcing. Because now I know that you know that this is a painting and it's propaganda, but you've proven to me that it still has value as a source. That is source analysis. All right, guys, hopefully this helps. And go ahead and answer the couple questions below to finish your attendance for the day. All right, cheers.